Yo, how is it going? It's Sharkninswaf again and welcome to my channel, and this time I am gonna show you the trap in the King's Gambit. So we start off with e4, e5, and now we sacrifice a pawn by f4. And yeah, taking is a very common move. It's also a top engine move. And now we play knight to f3 because the whole idea of the King's Gambit is that you wanna basically free the d4 square to play a pawn there. But if we would do that immediately, then we would have some crazy stuff like queen h4, and then we would have some problems with our king, and we don't want that. So what we're gonna do first is play knight to f3 because first of all it's helping d4, and second of all it's stopping any queen h4s. So yeah, g5 is pretty common idea. First of all, to reinforce f4, and second of all, to possibly like try and play g4 and create some sort of pawn storm on the king side early in the opening. But now we play bishop to c4, and after g4, we make our first sacrifice of the game. Haja! And you're like, why? What? Isn't that just giving a full knight away to the opponent? It's not just giving a full knight. I mean, it is, but clearly not for free. Because since we sacrifice the knight, we also need to sacrifice the bishop, obviously. That's how it is. And when they take our bishop, look, even though we are down 6 points of material, it's only minus 1.5 on the engine, which means we're going to be probably better after all. We are taking on f3 now, and queen to f6 is a very common move right now to try and protect the f4 pawn somehow. But since we sacrificed the pawn, the bishop, the knight, we sacrifice another pawn and then another pawn. We sacrifice our both central pawns, but again, not for free. If they're just gonna not accept it, then yeah, we had a worse position. But first of all, this king is weak, and we are gonna easily attack it. And second of all, black has some problems with development, especially on the king side, but also these pieces on the queen side are not very good. So we can we can try and win this actually. But after queen takes d4 check, look, we are down 7 points of material, but the position is close to equal. We are playing bishop e3 now. And first of all, they can't take on e3 with the pawn because of the pin. If they take with the queen, we just take the queen back, and they cannot take the queen on e3 again because of the pin. So if they take on b2 to try and win our rook, we play queen takes f4 check, and if they recover with the knight, we go here, both attacking the knight and the queen. If they decide to save their queen, they're just a mate in a couple of moves. Uh, and if they decide to save their knight, I mean, the only way that they can save the knight and also a top engine move is to sacrifice a queen. And there is still a threat, but now you can actually defend the knight. But we are just much better in this position because of the king positioning. We are better in development. We have a very active rook, very active queen also. And yeah, uh, if in this position though, they will cover with a queen, we play queen to c4 check, and after like king to e8, which is probably the most common move, we take the queen. And you will be like, but after taking back, we are actually not having anything back, because black is still up material, and even though the engine is showing plus 2.6, uh, we're down material and we are gonna be worse. No, we are not gonna be worse, because you're gonna win the material back, and I'm gonna show you how. You need to play knight to c3. That's the top engine moves by both sides. Bishop to e7, rook to e1, rook to f8, bishop to g5, knight to c6, queen to h4. Everything is slowly teaming up on this diagonal and on the e file. Bishop g8 is the only move, and now we don't actually take on e7, winning the piece back, but we play this, also threatening a fork. And if they defend from a fork, it's mate in 7. If you want to search for it, search for it. But I'm not gonna show it right now. Rook to f7 is a top engine move. We take on c7 with check. Then we take here, also with check. And then we take the queen. I know it's very complicated, but you're eventually winning material. You still have a better position, and you're gonna win the game. If not, I don't know you. Anyways, thank you for watching. Thank you for surviving this long in a video. Please like and subscribe, and see you again.